Alright folks, my name's Junior Proctor. I've got the little old YouTube channel, Junior Proctor Blue Dog Fishing. I've had a lot of requests on what kind of planer boards that I use and rigs and what I do. So I'm not on the water today, I'm down here in my garage and I thought I'd do a little short video just to show you what I use and material that I make stuff out of, and my weights and everything that I use every time I go fish. I get a lot of questions asked about the weights that I use. The weights that I use is a slinky weight that I just make. This is just a hollow shoestring that I take and heat one end of it up with a lighter and crimp it with a pair of pliers, smash it flat, and I use 1/4 inch barrel weights to slide down in there. You put 4 of them in, or put 8 of them in there, and that's 2 ounces of weight. And that's about normally what I use, 2 ounces. It depends on how much current there is, on how that what weight that I actually use. Let me show you how I rig it up. I've got one rigged here. I use a 30-pound main line, and I've realized that 30 pound is good, and I use mono line as far as for my dragging lines. And I use a snap swivel, but if you'll see right here, the snap swivel, my main line is tied to the ring and not the snap swivel. Then my leader, 50-pound leader, comes off, runs down to my hook. But the main line eye right there is you hook it to where the snap is right there, because you want your weight to go in on your snap on your main line. That way when you're dragging across the bottom, that it's just actually pulling on your main line. And these weights right here, a lot of times they'll get hung up. You might have to replace your weight and pull off, but it's better than replacing the whole rig. That's why I make them like this. And I just use a 3-inch. Actually, this one right here is a 2.5, but I've got a smaller hook on this, and I've got a little 8/0 hook on that one, circle hook. And I got a 2.5-inch float on this one, but normally I use the 3-inch peg floats with the slit in them, so you can take them off and on when you need to. Because a lot of people swap rigs when they fishing on bottom. I don't. The only thing I do is take the peg float off, and if I'm in current, I just add weight to this if I'm anchored. And I'll just add 2.5 to 3 ounces of weight to this right here. It'll help hold your weight, especially if you're in current anchored. You can add as much weight on that right there as you want, or whatever. Change your weights, not even change your rigs. So that's what I do on that. Now I'm I went and bought a new reel that I'm going to try. I went and bought the Cash King Rover 50, and I'm going to try it because I've been having some problems out of some of the other reels that I use. So I'm going to be doing a review on this reel right here. And I'm one of them people that's a everyday fisherman, just like everybody. Not every day, weekend fisherman, but a lot of people can't afford high-dollar reels and stuff like that. But what I've read, this reel right here is getting a lot of reviews and good reviews and everything on, so I'm gonna give it a try. And it's very possible that I'll be swapping over to all Cash King Rover reels. But we're going to give it a try, so watch the videos in the future to see how it's coming about. And my suspend rod and reels, when I'm drifting, my suspend rod and reels, now this one's got braided line on it. On my suspend rod and reels, I don't mind having braided, but most of them's got monofilament on them. But I will use braid on that. But my weights that I use especially around the areas where I fish, you know, 3 ounces of no-roll weights will be plenty. And this is just the way the rig that I set up. And I use the same swivel. Now I use the same swivel on these right here, because especially if I anchor and I'm not suspending this rod, I want to cast it out, I'll add weight to it if I need it to hold it there. And I normally don't put about 12-inch leader or so on my suspended rods. But like I said, this one right here is, I think that's a number 6 or 8 aught hook right there. But all my rods has got different size hooks on them for different size of baits. Because if you put too big of a bait on a small hook, you defeat the purpose. You know, a lot of times I'll use fillets or just small chunks, and but on my bigger baits I use 10 aught hooks. Now the planer boards that I use are Captain Max planer boards. They're weighted planer boards to help them run straight and everything else. And I've got several people asked me what type that I use. So this is Captain Max planer boards. Now these are 10-inch boards. I think he's got them up to 12-inch. But I've got 2 sets of these right here, and I'll be getting more of these right here. They hold, you know, the type of baits that I use, you know, pound perch, half-pound perch, or whatever. Because they've been, you know, a lot of times I'll just flay one side out of a perch, and I used to hold perch, you know, with a 2-hook rig in it. And it will pull this right here. This boards right here will pull it real well. But these are Captain Max. I think he's out of Georgia. I think he's a striper fisherman that come up with these boards right here, and I've been using them for years now, and they do real well. If you're from the Carolinas, Palmetto Armory, the fishing store has got them, and also Ballantine Hardware in Chapin, South Carolina. But around Chapin, down Ballantine, they're right there next to each other. And but I run 2 boards out the side. And I run 2 boards dragging, 2 boards out each side on planer boards. I run 4 planer boards, 2 boards. And 2 dragging lines out the back. But one of my dragging lines, I'll run the Ready Rig float. It hooks on like a planer board, and you just smash that right there and put your string in there. And I'll run that board right there probably 125 feet out the back of the boat. To 150 foot. Then my regular board, dragging rig that I do not put anything on, no kind of flotation or anything. Now all these, if I put this right here on, if I'm 30 foot of water, I'm putting 50 foot of line out before I put this, because I don't want the board to be 20 foot, the float and the bait to be 20 foot back past the float. And pretty close to the same way with the planer board. Sometimes I'll run 40 foot. If I'm in, let's just say I'm in 40 feet of water, I'll put 70 feet of line out before I put the planer board on. Then I'll put the planer board, my father's planer board, my ones outside the widest, I'll put them out about 100 feet, you know, out the back of the boat, about 100 feet. And so I've got, you know, a couple 100 feet of line out the back of the boat real close to it. And then the closer board's probably about 75 feet. And it all depends on the area if I'm fishing. Now, if I know it's a whole lot of structure, I mean heavy structure and stuff like that, then I'll shorten them up to where they're just barely dragging the bottom. But that's what I do on that. And normally I run 10-aught hooks, and I usually get them off eBay, and I have failed to break one yet, and they're razor sharp. But I get these right here off eBay. I think I get 100 of them for about $15 or something like that. So as much as I go through them, that's, you know, the place to get them is on eBay. I don't know who the manufacturer is, but I've been real pleased with these right here. And like I say, they are razor sharp. And when I can get 100 of them, you know, from under $20, that's a good deal to me. And occasionally I do run sinker slides. It depends on where I'm fishing at, especially if I'm river fishing. If I'm fishing somewhere like Paul Reservoir or somewhere like that where they pull and draw, you know, a lot of current, 2 and 3 mile an hour sometimes, I will use these right here with heavier weight, and that way they can pick it up and move it off, and I just like that much better. But these rig wrap sinker slides right here, they do real good. I was real impressed with them. I was glad I got some of them. And I think that's about it on my catfish rods. Now, what I do when I perch fish for my bait, I use the same slinky, but I use a lot of rod and everything. But I use 3 hooks, circle hooks, that I'll put worm or pieces of cut bait, perch or something on. And while I am dragging for catfish, I've got a perch rod out trying to catch perch. So, and that's my setup, and I just got just a little old swivel down there on that one right there, and I just let that right there touch the bottom, and I just let that right there run across the bottom. That weight right there just barely run across the bottom, and that's what some people suspend it up a little bit, but sometimes them perch is flat on the bottom, so I get it down there and try to get on them. I do break them off quite often, but you have to. That's just part of it if you don't catch the bait. But let's see. I think that's about all I got. If y'all have any questions and have any suggestions or anything like that, please leave a comment and stuff, and I try to answer every one of my comments. I try to get back to everybody. Sometimes I'm slower than most of them on there, and but like I say, I hope this is real helpful to you, and I was kind of new at this as far as just sitting here talking. I ain't no Dieter Melhorn. I just can't sit here and talk, but he's got a good show. Y'all check him out. Old Dieter Melhorn. He keeps you entertained. That ain't no joke. And also check out Steve Cumberlander. He keeps you entertained too. So and both of them are good jam up fishermen. And I think that's all I got. If y'all got anything, just leave a comment below, and if you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and y'all stay with us for the next fishing trip.